What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today, BTC USD. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, you guys, and let's get into it. Here we are on this, the 30th day of June, sitting at about $107.7 thousand, down 0.5% to start the day. If we're looking at this here, BTC, would it be BTC futures? It'd be Bitcoin futures, right? Bitcoin futures. CME. Same thing, maybe. I don't know. There's a coin called BTC Future, so it might pull that up. If we're looking at the Bitcoin futures chart here, we did gap up after Friday's close here. We did gap up, so maybe what we're doing right now is filling that gap. Look at it on a 1 hour time frame, right? We came down and we're trying to fill this this gap from Friday right here. I think that's what's happening, and maybe we do, maybe we don't. You know, Bitcoin being at 107.7K, it doesn't actually need to go lower for this gap to fill. You know, who knows? Maybe whenever the market opens, that gap will fill already, and then we can move up. But the thing is, we have other gaps below here. We have gaps all the way down at about $103,000 at 103.3K, and we even have gaps that are lower than that. So these gaps don't really need to fill. We've already proven that. And I mean, there's plenty of gaps back in time that haven't filled either, right? This gap filled, absolutely it did, but you know, there's a gap right there that didn't fill. There's a gap right here that did not fully fill. There's gaps all the way back here. Let's see. There's a gap right there. There's a gap right there. There's a gap right there. There's plenty of examples where there's gaps that did not fill. So I'm just saying it doesn't need to happen. And typically, whenever people become aware of something, it makes it less likely to happen, right? Like everybody's aware of that stuff now. They weren't aware of it back in the day. I mean, some people were, but not everybody counted on it, right? This is something that a lot of people look for, and it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy that needs to happen. And I think the market makers are aware of this, and they throw people off. They throw people off. In fact, I wonder, on that note, because we do have all these gaps, let's go to CoinGlass real quick. How's XCN doing? Probably down. Let's see. Let's see. We're going to look up the long to short ratio on CoinGlass. Come on now. Why didn't it go? There we go. If we go to 24 hours, there's actually more shorts. Wow. More shorts. Oh, well, but that makes sense because we've dropped. Yeah. There's more shorts right now in the last 24 hours than there are longs, right? We had a huge increase in shorts, 100% on the shorts there, 73% on the longs. Last hour, more shorts have piled on than longs in the last hour, right? I'm just saying that a lot of people have probably gone short here talking about manipulating the market a little bit, and Bitcoin's been very volatile, so I think that and I say manipulating, I don't actually mean manipulating. I just mean like just people playing the markets based off of that, right? And there are people with large amounts of money that are able to move the market more than people with small amounts of money. You can count that as manipulation if you want, but all I'm trying to say is maybe manipulating the psychology of people. A lot of shorts are coming in now. I would assume we're going to move up. That's all I'm trying to say. We had a huge increase of shorts because of this. If we're looking at the 1 hour time frame, we do have lower highs, right? That bearish divergence there, which I'm a little bit surprised if we didn't continue higher. In all fairness, if we're looking at this from a high to a low, we didn't even hit the 1272. That's pretty weak. You know, twice we got up there and we just didn't hit that. And we went below the golden ratio. That's a very intense dump, but that's okay. Whatever. Well, we do have lower lows in the RSI while having higher lows in the price. It is hidden bullish divergence. So we've maintained higher lows this whole time. So I don't think that this is going to persist too much. Maybe we go a little bit lower, and if we do, that's fine. Let me just see here real quick what where are we at here? 107. Yeah. I would be surprised if we went lower than this low, but we could, you know. I would think that we're on a path right now that will take us higher. If we're looking at this on the 4 hour time frame, the 1 hour time frame looks bullish, right? That's even though we had the bearish divergence, it looks bullish. Finding support here, getting overbought. You consistently getting overbought, not going below this area in the oversold zone. Hold on, let me get this. You know, it's right there. You're literally right there where you found support before. Even if we don't return to the overboughts, I would at least expect some kind of a lift from here. But I think that we're going to go higher, and the primary reason for that is if we're looking at the 4 hour time frame. Same thing, man. Look at this. You got, and the 4 hours only more significant. You got lower lows on the RSI, higher lows in the price, hidden bullish divergence. You see the volume here, volume spike on the way up, no volume or less volume at least on the way down. There's not as much backing up the price to go to the downside here. If we're looking at this on the 4 hour and we zoom out, we take this overall high here to this overall low here. Found support at the golden ratio, resistance on the 786, and now resistance or support at the 69. Again, it's kind of weird. I would think with this you'd go up higher, but just this overall consolidation is so bullish, man. I don't think we're gonna go below there. I would think that we go higher. And maybe we go below. And by the way, if we go down to let's say 104K, 103K, and we fill those gaps from last week, that's okay. Whatever, do that. Go down there, and then we'll rip from there. We'll move up. It'll be glorious. It'll be fantastic. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. It would make the most sense to me to go up to about 110K first before going below. Like we could go to 110K and then go back to the golden ratio. It'd be really weird to go below the golden ratio, in all honesty. That's kind of outside my wheelhouse of expectations there. But it could happen. Anything can happen. From a high here to a low there, I mean, we're just not at any of the fib extensions that make sense. Everything would say higher, at least a little bit higher before we go lower. That's, you know what I mean? So that's the call. I don't think that we're going too far up from here, but I don't think that we're going lower, man. 4 hour RSI looks bullish. 1 hour RSI looks bullish. Daily time frame here. We've got lower highs and lower lows, and we're at an area where you might find resistance, but we've got a lot of time left in the day. 11 hours here. We're only down 0.6%. Bitcoin can definitely eat that back up to the upside and prevail closing green today, but we'll see. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Time will tell. Let's take this high to low, and actually, damn, look at that too. Today, where you found support is at your prior all-time highs right there. Prior areas of resistance here, and even resistance relatively speaking. It's perfect area to find support, so I think you will. I think this will persist. Inevitably, we're going higher, right? Inevitably, regardless of what happens, right? If we go down to 104K, 100,000, whatever, right? Regardless of what happens here, we could even go below this low here, but I doubt that's going to happen at this point. But it is possible. If we went down to 94.4K, maybe at the lowest. But when we do go higher, 120 to 140K, that's the first target area. Once we get above 140K, we're looking for about 170, 190, somewhere in that zone, around the middle of August, right? That's the expectation. Like basically 6 to 7 weeks from now. If we look at this, what would 6 to 7 weeks from now be? Time frame wise, I could have just done 6 times 7 or 7 times 7. That'd be 49 or 42, but whatever. 7 would be August 18th, right? August 18th, August 11th, somewhere in that time frame. Maybe even a little bit, right, up to the 24th, I think. Yeah, the 24th. 24th to the 11th of August, somewhere in that time frame. That's whenever we're going to find our price all the way up at $180,000 or thereabouts. I don't have anything else for you guys. Thank you all for being here. Hit the like button, subscribe. Little shakeout, never hurt anybody. It's fun while it lasts, but we're probably going to go up. Make no mistake that this probably does not persist, and we probably do move up from here. But even if it does persist, even if we don't move up and we move lower, it's okay. It's not a big deal. We will prevail afterwards. We will come back, and la-di-da-di, it's going to be a party. All right, bye-bye.